Isn't it fascinating how the mind works? How it takes an idea, a thought, a feeling, and it weaves it into the fabric of reality. You might not have noticed it yet, or perhaps you already have. That moment when a shift begins to take place. Because the truth is, the more you resist something in others, the more it clings to you. Like a shadow trying to get your attention, whispering, "Look here, notice me." And the moment you recognize that, really recognize that, something powerful happens. Because deep down at the core, success isn't something they have, and you don't. No, success, it isn't something out there, it's something in here. And just imagine for a moment, if all that energy, all that focus spent resenting, resisting, pushing away, was instead redirected into curiosity, into inspiration, into seeing, truly seeing, to what you admire, what you envy. It's simply a reflection of your own potential, knocking on the door of your awareness. And you've probably noticed before now, when you shift the way you see something, the thing itself changes. It's like those old paintings where at first you see one thing and then, with a simple shift in focus, an entire new image appears, a new understanding, a realization. Because every time you see someone thriving, succeeding, basking in abundance, something inside you is saying, this is possible. It's a signpost, a beacon, an invitation. And the more you allow yourself to see it in that way, the more effortlessly you step into that possibility yourself. And isn't it interesting how the mind, once given a new perspective, begins to naturally and effortlessly integrate it? As if deep down you already knew. You always knew, because the truth is, the world is a mirror, reflecting back to you exactly what you're ready to embrace. And the more you celebrate abundance, wherever you see it, the more you invite it in. So as you continue to move forward effortlessly, naturally, powerfully, you might begin to notice a shift, a lightness, a new way of seeing, feeling, being. And isn't that just fascinating? How the mind, your mind, has already begun to shift, as if something deep inside you has been waiting for this moment, for this realization, for this truth to fully emerge. Because the more you think about it, the more you realize there was never any lack, was there? There was never anything missing, never anything outside of you that wasn't already within you. And as you begin to fully recognize that, you can feel it, can't you? That expansion, that shift, that opening. Because all those times, those moments when you felt that twinge, that resistance, that jealousy, it was never about them. It was always about you. A signal, a whisper, a message. For the deepest part of yourself saying, look here, pay attention, this is for you. Because the truth is, you don't envy what isn't meant for you. You don't long for what isn't aligned with your deepest potential. You don't feel that pull towards something, unless in some way it's already yours. And now that you realize this, it all begins to make sense. It's like watching the ocean tide. At first, you might have thought abundance was something that came and went, given to some and not to others, something separate, something distant. But now you see, just as the tide moves in and out, so does success, so does prosperity, so does power. And as you stand there, watching, you realize the ocean was never taking anything from you. It was always returning. It was always in motion. And just as the ocean is vast, endless, abundant beyond measure, so too is your ability to create, to attract, to step into that limitless flow. And imagine now how effortless it becomes to celebrate success wherever you see it. Because now you see it differently. You see it as proof, as a reminder, as a mirror reflecting back to you your own possibilities, your own untapped greatness. And as you celebrate, as you admire, as you allow that inspiration to rise within you, something incredible happens. You feel it, don't you? That energy, that shift, that power awakening inside. Because success, it isn't something they have, it's something you are. And abundance isn't something outside of you, It's something that flows through you when you let it, when you welcome it, when you embrace it. And every time you see it in any form, in any place, in anyone, you can feel yourself aligning with it even more. Because every success, every achievement, every moment of abundance that you witness, it's simply another doorway opening for you. And you might find from this moment forward that things start to change, perhaps subtly at first, perhaps in ways that surprise you. A new thought, a fresh perspective, an excitement where there used to be resistance. And as these shifts continue naturally, effortlessly, inevitably, you realise you've already stepped into it, that power, that abundance, that success. And doesn't that feel amazing?